Yes. So what do you want to do? I am a yoga trainer, I am a singer, I work in television, I'm also an engineer. So I can talk to you about music, I can sing, we could do some relaxation techniques, or being an engineer, we could talk about time management. You're all multitaskers, so we could talk about something like that. What do you want to do? Time management, yoga, sing. I'm getting everything. DP Singh just wants to smile. Time management, all right. Yes. I don't think music is part of the FTP curriculum. That's the only problem. I think Dr. Ramarao ji will get questions. All right, at least one song. Okay, I'll sing. So for what we'll do is we'll start with a breathing technique first, and then we will go into something else. So last time we learned a technique. We'll do one recap at the end of whatever I can see some people are new who couldn't join last time. So whatever technique we did, we can do that one more time at the end. So it becomes much more, you can remember it much more. And this time we will start with a breathing technique called the Nadi Shodhan Pranayam, the alternate nostril breathing technique. So last time I had told you the breathing technique we did is not recommended for people with high BP, but this is something that everybody can do. And very often breathing techniques are to be done on an empty stomach, but this is a breathing technique that you can do even after having food. This can be done even while you're traveling, you're in the middle of something. And quickly, if you want to do something right before a class or right before an important academic meeting, this is something you can do. At any point of the day, you can do that. So, how to do it? You might have seen this also. Some of you might have already learned it. This technique is called alternate nostril pranayam or Nadi Shodhan pranayam. So basically, we have two nadis, main nadis running through our body, and nadis are energy channels. You can call it energy channels. A lot of energy is flowing through our entire body. When you did a pranayama, you might have experienced it last time, and these nadis are channels through which energy flow. Let's look at it. Let's look at what this energy we are speaking about. Can you keep your hands like this, all of you? Dangle it like this loosely. Yeah. And now start shaking your hands. 100% effort. Yeah, shake it completely. Let the elbows shake, let the fist, wrist, fingers, everything start shaking. Come on, keep your spine erect. Yes, Lakshmi ji, very good. And now close your eyes and continue shaking. 5 more seconds, 100%. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly, keeping your eyes closed, relax your hands and keep it on your lap, open to the sky. And observe a gentle flow of energy on the surface of your palms. And slowly, gradually, you may open your eyes. Yes, how many people felt it? A tingling sensation on the surface of the palms. Yeah. So that is a very gross demonstration of the prana inside us. We all have a lot of, yeah, energy, subtle life force energy. That is the meaning of prana, the word prana. So we all have a lot of prana, and when the prana levels in the body is high, we feel happy, we feel confident, we feel enthusiastic, we feel like mingling with people. And then there are times when the prana levels go down. That is when we start getting irritated for no reason. We get quickly angry, we snap fast, we feel irritated, and we don't feel like talking to people. So the one of the easiest ways to be energetic and happy and calmer than you already are is to improve the prana in the body. So all the pranayama means prana ayama. Ayama means channeling or exercising, you can say, channeling the energy. So pranayama is basically channeling the energy and improving the energy inside. So this is another pranayama called alternate nostril. And how to do it? Keep your left hand in Chin Mudra. This is called the Chin Mudra. Thumb and index finger lightly touching each other. Yeah. And keep it on your lap, open to the sky. Like this. Keep it on your left lap, open to the sky. And right hand, you can keep it on your nostrils. So those people, maximum people can keep their videos on. So I can also, correct you if there is something to be correct. Yes, Lakshmi ma'am, please ask your colleague also to join us. Everybody in the staff room can join us. Okay. Left hand, keep it on your nose, nostrils with the ring finger on top of the left nostril. Ring finger is on the left nostril and thumb is on the right nostril. And the other two fingers, the index finger and the middle finger, can be kept in the center of the forehead like this. And keep your hands straight, relaxed and straight. Relaxed position, you can keep it straight. So we will be using the thumb to open and close the right nostril, and we'll be using the ring finger to open and close the left. And the left hand is in Chin Mudra on the left thigh. Now I'll tell you what the breathing pattern is first. So we are going to close the right nostril, breathe out all the air inside, and then we'll begin by breathing in through the left. Then hold the breath inside for a couple of seconds. Close the left nostril and breathe out through the right. Then breathe in through right. Close the right and breathe out through left. Very good. Reggie ma'am, you can keep both fingers in the middle of the forehead like this. Index finger and middle finger. Yeah. Stretch it like this. Yeah, that is better. Again, let's begin. Close the right and breathe in through left. Breathe out through right. Breathe in through the right. Hold the breath for a couple of seconds and breathe out through left. One more round. Breathe in through the left. Hold the breath for a couple of seconds inside and very slowly breathe out through the right. Now hold the breath outside and then breathe in through the right. Hold the breath inside and very slowly breathe out through the left. And relax your hands on your thigh. Keep your hands down, right hand down, and slowly open your eyes. We'll do it for 9 rounds now. Just wanted to make sure everybody is clear with it. So one round is in left, out right, in right, out left. And after taking an inhalation, you hold the breath inside for a couple of seconds and then breathe out through the other nostril. Then after breathing out also, you can just hold for 2 seconds. Then breathe in through right, hold, and breathe out through left. And the secret of this pranayama is to keep your body as relaxed as possible. Keep the shoulders relaxed, keep your hand relaxed, and your face also, you can have a gentle smile. And then take a deep breath, as deep as possible, and continue. Okay, so we can do 9 rounds now on our own. So let's take position. Keep your spine erect. Keep your left hand in Chin Mudra on the left thigh, open to the sky. And take position with the right hand on top of the nostrils. Thumb is on top of the right nostril and ring finger is on top of the left nostril. The other two fingers in the middle can be kept straight up or touching the forehead. Now close the right nostril and breathe out through the left. Exhale out all the air. Now breathe in through the left. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Breathe out left. In left, hold the breath inside and breathe out right. Hold, breathe in right, hold and breathe out left. Breathe in left, continue. Let's do 8 more rounds on our own. अपने आप करते हैं 8 round और. Keep the body as relaxed as possible. Have a gentle smile on the face and keep the breath as deep and long as possible. No need to be in any hurry. The longer and deeper the breath, the more effective it is. Keep the eyes closed and continue. When you finish the 8 rounds, you can relax the palms and keep the eyes closed. And at the end of this round, after breathing out through the left nostril, you can relax your hands and keep them open to the sky on your lap. इस राउंड के बाद हाथों को विश्राम करें. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And slowly you may open your eyes. धीरे धीरे से आंखें खोल सकते हैं. Yes. How do you feel? Good. Yeah. Yeah. So the mind has become a little more settled, right? So that is Nadi Shodhan. So the energies get balanced a little bit, left brain and right brain. As you might already know, the left nostril is connected to the right brain and the right nostril is connected to the left brain. So to bring a balance between these two, Nadi Shodhan is amazing. And it can be, the beauty is it can be done anytime. I do it, when I'm traveling, then in airports or in, before classes also you can do it. It's very effective. Or at times when you feel the mind is too disturbed or a little irritated, just sit down and do. Guaranteed that you'll feel much better. Okay. So now tell me regarding time management. Can time be managed actually? Is it good after dinner? Yeah. I mean, sometimes you really feel full, too full, and you don't feel like it, then you can avoid it. But in general, since there is no physical exertion, even with a stomach full, you can do this. Or just wait 15 minutes after having food and you can do it. And definitely good before dinner also. It makes you more aware of the food. Yes, so time can be managed or not. Does time wait for anyone to be managed?
Maybe we need to manage to have time. Ourselves manage to time.
Yeah, we need to manage ourselves according to the time. Yeah, so let me, now you can all unmute.
Sir, I wanted to ask you one thing.
Yeah,
I have noticed that you are drinking water frequently in between, in
yeah.
intervals. So, is there any particular technique of having waters throughout the day in between? Does it affect us? Or
No, no, not at
I've
all. I
been
mean,
drinking,
it affects
drinking
us.
water irregularly.
Yeah.
So, is there any particular scheme of drinking water that can be made more effective for us
So,
health-wise?
yeah, so basically, I have got addicted to drinking water. This is something that my father actually instilled in me. So I cannot go anywhere without this bottle of water. And I have found that my skin, I have absolutely no problems with my skin. So, and then only I learned that, drinking water is very good for skin. It keeps the skin fresh, and it defies the age. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to guess my age. So, so it is very good. And of course, so many benefits. I don't have to tell you. Google can tell you what are the benefits of keeping yourself. So, best way to cultivate this is you start drinking water very regularly. And my father actually drinks 2 liters. I mean, almost 2 bottles, maybe only 2 liters. And once he went to this naturopathy camp, and that is where they asked him to try this, and the results are amazing. So one of the big mistakes that we Indians do is we start our morning with a coffee or a tea, which is the most damage we can do to our stomach, because coffee and tea is acidic, and right away in the morning itself, when the stomach is just getting ready, it is like the stomach wakes up like this, and you pour a lot of dirty water on top of, if somebody wakes up like this and you feel a lot of water like this, a heavy water, you just fall down. So throwing something acidic into the empty stomach is as damaging as that. So, drinking alkaline water, a little bit of lemon squeezed into the water, or eating a fruit or vegetable, fruit is also good, should be the first thing that we should do. Best option is to have light warm water with few drops of lemon in it. And then you can just wait for a few minutes, or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then have the tea. Otherwise, it is very damaging and it can ruin your whole day. But Indians are very accustomed to it. And you can just read about this also. Drinking tea first in the morning. A lot of doctors also talk about this. Alkaline, we have to make the alkaline base in the morning. And drinking water, yes. I think Sudeep Kumarji is also now drinking. So start keeping a water bottle around with you, and then automatically you will get used to this drinking water. Every now and then you will feel like water. Okay, now everyone is drinking water. I like that. Yes, is egg non-veg or veg? The most important question. It depends. It depends on your tongue actually, because your mind or your intellect knows the truth, but your tongue might disagree. Depends on how much you like an omelette. If you want to be a vegetarian and you love egg based dishes, then egg will be a vegetarian dish. So non-veg only, yeah. So huh. Wait, before that I left one question. One of my nostril is blocked. So this happens. Yeah, Sudha ji, you are getting the connection is breaking. Did you say something, or you can put it in the chat box? We could not hear the.
Yeah, now Swasta can.
So can I speak?
Yeah. Yes, 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 please.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
So
Tell me.
wandering of thoughts, even when drink water, also we are not concentrating. Mind will be too much wandering. So many thoughts will be coming at the time. We can
Even when you drink water, the mind will be wandering. I heard that much. Can you put it in the chat box? I think your
yes, sir.
connection is getting slower. Can you ask again in the chat box? It'll be easier. So, milk is veg or non-veg? What do you think? What do all of you think? How to reduce acidity? Yeah, acidity is alkaline water. Alkaline water is very important. A little bit of lemon squeezed. Turmeric is very good. So, and some yoga. You can learn some asanas like uh, Pavana Muktasan and Marjari Asan. Some of these can help in that. Then Kapalbhati Pranayam can help a lot. Yes, thyroid, Ayurveda, I am not qualified to talk about Ayurveda from a thyroid point, but from yoga point of view, I have so many students who come to me with thyroid, both hyperthyroid and hypothyroid issues. And there are different sets of asanas for both conditions. So you're activating the thyroid glands or slightly deactivating it in the case of hyperthyroidism. We can do via yoga. I have no idea. Chicken in lunch and milk for dinner. I have no idea the combination. So, reduce materials living in such technologically driven era. I don't think materialistic living, there is anything wrong about materialistic living. Only thing is, I think we have to find a balance between materialism and spirituality. So, let's all stand up. Yeah. Okay. Now, I know some of you might be in your staff rooms. If so, it might be difficult, but the others can do it. So I want all of you to walk from one side of the room to the other side of the room. You touch the wall on one side and go back and touch the wall on the other side. Quickly, yeah. And come back. And now let's be on one leg. Raise one leg. And on one leg, you have to go and touch the wall on one side and go back and touch the other wall and come. Quickly. 10 seconds. Yes, thank you so much. That was a good exercise. Now come back and sit. Yes, Ashish Paul, how was it? Which one was easier?
Both are easier, sir.
Both are easy. Okay, if you were to do for a whole day, which one would be easier?
Walk is easier than this one leg.
One leg was a little fun. It was a little fun, but it was, if you do it on a long term basis, it is not easy. So I think it is like that only when it comes to materialism and spirituality. Just having one aspect alone in life is not going to be very productive on a long term. So I think we should all have both materialism and spirituality. And I'm saying spirituality, and I'm not using the word religion at all. Spirituality means finding the inner self, inner peace, a little bit of meditation, a little bit of contemplation. Who am I? What is the purpose of life? What brings me real happiness?
Yes, yes.
What are the things that do not bring me happiness? What are the things that bring me happiness? Just a little bit of contemplation is what I mean by spirituality, and reading some books connected to it, and techniques. For me, techniques are the most important. More than wisdom and spiritual knowledge, techniques have helped me grow faster and bring a balance in life.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, no problem. Happy to. How to control thoughts, not only in doing breathing, even when having water, also lots of thought will be running. Yeah. So thoughts are the problem for everyone. Like I think last time we checked, no, we did the monkey experiment. Let's do it again. I think some of you were missing. Close your eyes, and for the next 5 seconds, don't think of Donald Trump. At any cost, don't think about Donald Trump. Open your eyes. The moment I said don't think itself, it started thinking. So this is the nature of the mind. And through little bit of meditation, you will see that it becomes very effortless. You don't even have to make an effort, and the mind becomes calm and relaxed. Your anger starts coming down. The daydreaming, a lot of time sometimes we spend in this, that also comes down. You'll become more aware of yourself. How to start for meditation? We'll do a meditation today at the end of it. Here in Saffron. How to find the purpose of life? Very good question. You think I would know that? So, yeah. So, I've asked this question to my guru many times. So, what he tells me is, write down on a piece of paper what all are not the purposes of your life. This is something you can do after this session itself. What is not your purpose of your life? Is making money the purpose of your life? Is, buying this model car the purpose of your life? Is getting the doctorate or getting a tenure or a fellowship the purpose of your life? Is making people happy the purpose of your life? Is getting knowledge the purpose of your life? So write everything which is the purpose of your life or which is not the purpose of your life. And then what remains will be the purpose. Getting angry over small things, is that the purpose of your life? No. Getting worried about small things is not the purpose of life. Spending all the time, making money is not the purpose of your life. So write everything, and what remains will be the purpose. And it is said that the person who knows it will not tell it to you, and whoever tries to tell you, they don't know it. So I think it is an individual pursuit, and it is one of the best questions to have in our lifetime. Who am I? What is the purpose of life? I think it's and it will take us forward in our journey. Okay, that's it. So let's look at time management. Basically, like Dr. Ramarao said, I don't think we can manage time. We have to manage ourselves in the available time. Mahakal, it is said, the grand time. So I know many of you have a lot of working experience, rich working experience, much more than me also. You might have found your own ways to manage time. But I'll share something that I usually share with people. This is something I have found very useful. I am a multitasker. I work 3 to 4 jobs right now. So I have always had this problem with time management, and me being a creative person, I also am a master procrastinator. I have PhD in procrastination. So I often end up, postponing things because I wanted to do it more perfectly. Sometimes because of laziness, etc. All these things happen. So this is a technique I have found very useful, and some of you may be aware of it. This is called the Eisenhower matrix. So do you know who Eisenhower was? Can anybody tell me? Eisenhower, have you heard the name? Eisenhower. Okay, Eisenhower was, I think, the 34th president of the United States of America. He was known as one of the most effective utilizers of time. So what is special about him is He started as a general in the United States Army, and he was part of the World War II effort, and he was a commander in chief, and he did so much uh, for the Allied forces. And apart from that, he was the person who started NASA. He instituted NASA, finally, which went to the moon and the Mars. And he's the one who is responsible for starting DARPA. IT lecturers would know it. DARPA is the institute or the organization which is responsible for the internet to start. And he has done war efforts, and then he became the president of United States. He introduced the highways, subways concept in the United States, which has brought in an amazing transportation system in the United States. And he rise higher in the role from a commander in chief in the army. He rose to the role of president, and he was supposed to be one of the most efficient utilizers of time at that time itself. So what he said was, most things which are urgent are not important, and most things which are important are not urgent. Yes or no? We think of this, no, very often. Some of the things which are very important in life, we don't do it with urgency, and then there are some things which are not important, which we do very urgently also. So what he has done in this process is he has brought out a system which is called the Eisenhower matrix. He has basically categorized things into important and urgent. So can you tell me in the chat box some of the things that is very important in your life? What are the things in your life that are very important? Put it in the chat box. Family, education, and tell me some processes also that you do in regular life which are very important. For example, spending time with family is very important. Eating, daily schedule, to publish a manuscript, maintaining a timetable. Yeah, life, that is a very general, very vague answer. Give me some specific replies. To talk with parents and friends, relationships are very important. Keeping a journal, time with family, okay. What about in your academic workspace, in your schedule? What are the important things? Balance between work and family, to manage punctuality, yes. And what are the things that spending time with my son, taking class in time, publish manufacturing in Publons, yes. Taking care of faith, yeah. Time for yourself, very good. Student mentoring, being nice to people in general, very good. Health. And what are the things that become urgent in your life? Some of the things that you do with urgency. Going out for a walk, yes, time for yourself, good. And then urgency. Work is always urgent, Bhargavi says. Does work have to be always urgent? Medical emergency, yes, good. Sometimes class preparation becomes urgent, not always, right, Dr. Milind? Washroom, yes. Work-related deadlines to meet a dead end. Attend somebody in need, that makes a point. Loving things you do, is it urgent? Shweta Singh. All right. Health becomes urgent when, Ashish Paul? Is it always urgent? When does it become urgent? Yeah. Or when does, yeah. Yes, good, very good. Yeah. When you need to visit a doctor, yeah. Finally, when you wait with that tooth for a long time, and then there is this thing happening inside, it is getting eroded, and then finally when the pain is too much, you go there and then the dentist says, now you have to get the root canal. That is when it becomes urgent. Until then it could have been solved with a routine cap or something, okay, or a flossing. Paying attention to parents' health, okay. So what Eisenhower has done is he has distributed things into 4 columns. Hold on, let me share it again. So this is the Eisenhower matrix. So in this column, he has distributed things into the top row of the matrix is the urgent and not urgent things. And in the bottom, on the sides are the important and not important things. Now, what you have to do is you will have to start helping me share these things in the. Just hold on, let me resize this. All right. So now tell me, let's look at this first column. What are the things in your life? It can be in a daily life or in a long-term perspective. What are the things that are really urgent and really important? You can unmute and say, or you can put it in the chat box. It might be easier to put it in the chat box. Let's fill these columns, or let's fill these boxes. Medical emergency, good. Medical emergency comes under this. Hold on, let me see if I can start a whiteboard. Give me some time. Yeah. Oops, clear. Okay. All right, here you go. Urgent, not urgent. Ram sir, can you see me? Can you see my whiteboard?
I can see. Right. Fine. Thank you.
Important, not important. Okay. One second, let me readjust my screen so I can read the comments also. All right. So now let's start populating this. PhD submission. Okay. I'll start from the beginning. Medical emergency. Emergency. What else? Maintain health when it becomes urgent. Peace, health, sleep is important. Something that is urgent. PhD submission becomes urgent when? Farzana. Intentional name and fame not important. Okay. Paper published in good journal, academic. None of this becomes urgent. Tell me urgent. Finishing my PhD, very important along with. It is important. Finishing PhD is important, but when does it become urgent? Deadline driven activities is urgent. Okay. Deadline driven. When the deadline is tomorrow. Deadline tomorrow activity. All right. Food, water and shelter, is it urgent? Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, planning, yes. So these are the urgent important things that come under this column. This is called the stress corner or the quadrant, stress quadrant. These are the things that we must do right away. So you have to tell me more things that you have had to do right away. It cannot be postponed anymore. It is very important and it has to be done right away. Medical emergencies come under this. Apart from that, what else? Cooking 3 times a day. Okay. When does that become attending FTP right now? That is not urgent, is it? When does it become urgent? Okay, deadline tomorrow, activity. Work becomes urgent when? Minajakul. It's timely, yeah. Okay, now let's come to the next quadrant. Tell me some of the things that are very important but are not urgent. Next ones. Work on manuscripts. When? Planning a travel. Okay, planning a travel. It is very important, but if you plan it correctly, it does not become urgent. Marriage. Taking care of health. Very good. Taking care of health. Now, on the same lines, can you tell me when does health come into the first quadrant? When does it come into the first quadrant? The health aspect. Planning for a research proposal. Yes. If health is not taken properly, yes. When finally you don't take care of the health and doctor says you have to get an angio. You don't walk daily basis, and then doctor says you have to get an angioplasty or you have to get a root canal. We wait till the last serious medical illness. Yeah. Serious medical illness. Or like in the top we have mentioned, if a relative or somebody has a medical emergency, then it becomes urgent and important. Then what else? Sirisha, at the end of this, you're saying in our lifestyle is stressful. Health comes to first quadrant. So you have to, at the end of this session, you have to tell me whether health should come in the first quadrant or the second quadrant. That is what we are going to look at. Okay, what else is not urgent but important? Can you think of anything else? Family time, very good. Family time. Socializing, yes. Maintaining a contact with your peers, your staff members, and building your PR, public relationships. Spending time with family, very good. Yes, social relations. All right. Now tell me, what are the things that come under the third quadrant? One second. Yes. What are the things that are urgent, maybe to the big scenario, but it is not important to you? It might be urgent for someone else, but it is not very significant to you. Can you tell me? Or even in your life also? Voting. After all, the MLA or MP will work for you, no? So it is important. Marriage. Is it not important to you, Farzana? Taking alcohol. Is that is that important? Or is that urgent? It is urgent also. Voting comes in second, yeah. Doing other people's work. Yes or no? Cleaning room comes under urgent or important? It's not important. Busy work, just simply checking an email that need not be checked right now. Busy work is, buying latest model. Okay. Then doing something that does not require your skill set for others. It is very important for somebody else, but it is very urgent for somebody else, but not important to you. Or it is urgent but not important right now for you. Phone calls, some phone calls which you needn't make right away, which you need not make, somebody else can make for you. All right, now let's come to the final column. What are the things that are not urgent and not important? What comes under the fourth column? Watching movie. Okay, good. Watching movies. Then Facebook all the time. Showing off on social media. Showing off on social media. WhatsApp, spending more time on social media. Facebook, more time. So I'm adding more time to all of this. Okay. I'm not talking about a one message here and there to your students or your distant relatives. More time on social media or showing off. Watching many movies. Unnecessary involvement into others' business. Yeah. Unnecessary involvements. OTT platforms. Okay. Then anything that does not give you a long-term joy. Gossiping, yes, very good. I would suggest that is one indication. While doing it, you might get a temporary joy, but after doing it, you don't really feel satisfied, or sometimes you even feel like you have wasted your time. If there are some things like that, you can put it here. Daydreaming, exactly. Fast food. While you are eating it, you feel really happy. You feel kind of in that mode. But after eating it, sometimes after eating a pizza, also, I have also felt this. While eating it, I'm enjoying it so much. But at the end of it, I don't feel as comfortable as eating a dosa at home or some rice. Oversleeping. Yes, oversleeping is neither important nor urgent. Browsing casually for a long time. Yeah, unnecessary shopping or window shopping. Indulgence in all the addictions, everything, all of this will come in this. So this is called the Eisenhower matrix. So we'll look at how we can make this on our own also. And in this quadrant, this is the number 1. Let's call it 1. This is 2. This is 3. And this is 4. So there are different things that we can do with the items in each quadrant. The fourth quadrant, of course, is called the useless quadrant. That takes away a lot of our time. The third quadrant and first quadrant also takes up a lot of our time from our regular life. And second quadrant is a quadrant which is called the magic quadrant, where the most number of things need to be put into. And first quadrant is called the stress quadrant, which should be kept most of the time empty for emergency activities. But very often what happens is that many of us live in the first quadrant, where things are important and they have become urgent also. An example would be, we are supposed to pack our bags for tomorrow morning's flight. If we don't pack it today and wait for today night or tomorrow morning, then it becomes urgent and important. If we pack the bags on time a day before or just in the previous evening, then it is not urgent, but it becomes important. If we spend a lot of time doing something that does not require our skill for others instead of delegating it, then we spend a lot of time in the third quadrant. And then at the end of it, what do we actually feel? We feel wasted. We feel sometimes even angry at those people for making us spend so much time on it. So instead of that, we could delegate it. And then fourth quadrant is absolutely on a long-term basis, we don't feel satisfied at all in indulging in the fourth quadrant. So now let's look at how to approach each of these quadrants. I can send this to Ramarao sir also to share in your groups. So the first quadrant, urgent and important, has the things that you have to do it right away. And whatever comes into it, do it right away. There is no question of postponing it. It includes the medical emergencies. It includes something that you have to do for someone, somebody has a very emergency situation. You have to do it right away. And you have, your college calls you and says you have to take this paper presentation right away on behalf of the college. You have to do it right away. There is no other option. But it also adds to your stress sometimes. If the stress number one quadrant is always full, what will happen is you end up doing the things you have to do instead of doing the things you want to do in life. Always you will be in this mode of wanting to do things which you must do right now instead of doing the things that you want to do in life, if the number one quadrant is always full. So the secret is to keep number one quadrant at least 70% empty all the time. So there is time for emergency situations. Then second quadrant, what are the things that are important but not urgent? Now this is your golden quadrant. You should fill as many things in this as possible, and scheduling is the key in this. Scheduling is the secret of it. Schedule as many things into this quadrant and spend as much time in this quadrant instead of giving it for 1, 3 and 4. Then what happens is you will be able to do multiple things in your life and you will be able to follow the pursuits that you actually want to do in life. And third quadrant, the things that are important to other people that are urgent to other people but not important to you. These things are delegatable. Many things in your life, you can delegate to people, or in some things, some of the things we don't feel like delegating, we can at least automate it. Very simple is paying your electricity bills, mobile phone bills. I used to have this problem all the time. For many years I have been paying in a late fee on my phone bills. I have a postpaid plan, and many times I have been paying the late bills. Only then later on I have actually sat down and explored this automatic payment option. Now so many of these online websites have the automatic payment options. I never explored them frankly. And then when I started using the scheme, now I don't have at least late fees, and sometimes even disconnections used to occur for internet, etc. So either delegate things or automate things. Are there some things that you can give to your students to take care of from your academic schedule where your level of skill set is not required? Does giving car washing to an agency or somebody who is near you, who wants some extra pocket money on a regular basis, once or twice in a week, at a nominal rate, would that be more effective than you spending more time and you stressing out because you did not get time to wash your car and then carrying your car dirty for a long time? Does that make more sense? If so, delegate it. There might be some, expenditure involved, but is it worth it? Then do it. So those things which are urgent but not important to you, urgent to somebody else but not important to you, all these things, delegate it. And in the fourth quadrant, whatever is not important and not urgent, dump it. So that you have more time to focus on the second quadrant. What are the things that are important but not urgent? Like you very well said, exercising on a regular basis, meditating on a regular basis, staying in touch with your family and friends on a regular basis, building good PR relations with your faculty and staff, and your management, college management. All these, just taking a walk around the college one day, and staying in touch with all the faculty members. Sometimes we don't find time to do this, because we feel it is not urgent. And we end up doing many urgent things thinking that it is important, and we don't do many important things thinking that it is not urgent. So what I want all of you right now is, if you can all take a paper, quickly take a paper, and draw 2 lines in it. Let's make our Eisenhower matrix and see what all are coming into our matrix. Make this matrix, draw 2 lines crisscross like a plus sign, divide it into 4 quadrants. Number 1 quadrant is, or you can just write urgent, not urgent on the top, and on the left side important and not important. Shall I close this? Have you? All right. So I want you to start from the 4th quadrant now. What are some of the things that you do in your daily life that do not bring you long-term joy? Probably in a short term, it gives you joy, but after doing it, you feel like you've wasted time, or you feel low energy, or you should not have done it. Fill that in the 4th quadrant. Few more seconds. Okay, and now let's start from number 1. Right now in your life, what are the things that require your urgent attention and is very important? These can include things you have been postponing for a long time. The deadline is already over and still you have not given it. People have been asking you for it for a long time. You have not been doing. That is urgent and it is very important. Some things that should have been submitted long ago. A doctor's appointment that should have been done long ago. Yes, Yatindra Kumar. Yeah. What are the things that are really urgent that you have been procrastinating to do also, but it is very urgent and very important also? Put that in the quadrant 1. Mental health 1 or 2, Sarita. Yes. So learning as mental health, when it comes to a point where you are having breakdowns or your relationships are getting affected, then visiting a psychiatrist becomes number 1. But otherwise, maintaining a good mental health schedule comes in 2. Meditating regularly, exercising properly, learning a certain skill. Yeah. Where does it come? It comes under 1 or 2. We look at it. So now let's fill the quadrant 3. What are some of the things that you end up doing which does not require your skill set? You spend a lot of time sometimes doing it, and it could have been done by somebody else. For example, I had this problem with, as part of my programs, I had to fill these forms up of the participants and I had to courier it. And I used to try to do it myself, and I never used to get time to go out and do the parceling when I have day-long classes. And I used to get so much problem with late submissions. And then I realized my wife is always going to work. I could have easily asked her to take it along on one day to office. And the moment I asked her to start doing it, I have never had a late submission. I always tried to do it myself, thinking that I should complete the whole thing myself. I shouldn't give anybody any problems. But in the procedure, I was hurting myself and my career. So what are the things that does not require your skill level, that can be delegated? What are the things that can be automated also? If you don't have the confidence to delegate it to someone, is there a way to automate it using technology? Bill payments, or yes, administration work in college, academic institutes. Some are just our hesitation to let go of, we have got so used to it that we are not realizing that somebody else can actually do it. Yeah, so that is third quadrant. And now let's come to second quadrant. Hobbies comes under 2 or not, Meenakshi ji? Hobbies give you a sense of satisfaction, yes or no, on a long-term basis? It is not urgent, but it gives satisfaction to the mind, so it is important pursuing it. So it comes under the scheduling quadrant, that is 2, the golden quadrant. Learning a certain skill, Avinash, it is very important. Skills are very important, but it is not at all urgent. But sometimes what happens, if you have not skilled yourself properly, when it comes to a promotion, then it becomes urgent. Then you think, oh no, I should have just spent some more time getting this skill. So then it becomes into the first quadrant and it creates stress in your life. So now let's start filling the second quadrant. What are the things that are very important in your life, but right now it is not urgent? Staying connected with family is very important. Maintaining good public relations is very important. And sometimes it becomes urgent when you actually need to get something done in a government office or in a college. Then you will need, and then you will think, oh, I should have maintained a better relation with these people. Then good physical health, having a proper schedule to do yoga or meditation or gym or walking. And then if you have ignored it for a long time, finally the doctor will tell you you should have maintained a better diet or better. Then it becomes quadrant number 1, and then it induces stress in your life. Waiting till the last moment to pack your bags. This was also something I used to do very often. And then I used to forget so many things while packing. So packing on time comes under 2, but packing at the last moment comes under 1. So the more things that you end up putting in the first quadrant, life will become more and more stressful. 1 and 3 can take away so much of your time, and it will, finally take away time from quadrant 2 also. So keep 1 at least 70% empty. So there is time for emergency, and do as many things in quadrant 3 through delegation. Avoid and cut away almost everything from quadrant 4. They are useless. And once in a while messaging your family members Once in a while, posting something in Facebook, etc., actually comes under 2. Okay. There is no point in ditching social media completely. Even in as an academician, you have to be relevant. So once in a while, maintaining a schedule is good, but all the time checking, Instagram or Facebook, etc., is useless. Or chatting for a long time, or even texting instead of making a phone call. Sometimes we spend so much time typing, and only at the end we realize we could have conveyed this in just 1 minute phone call. That also comes under 4th. So, especially if you are an HOD, if you are getting into the higher ranks, it is very important for you to spend more time in the second quadrant, because there are many people under you who can do things in number 1 and number 3. So you have more skills, because to plan a longer term view for your institute, to plan something concrete for your department, these are things that only you can do. There are many people under you who can do number 1 and number 3 wala. So it becomes even more if you are an entrepreneur on the side, even more, that number 2 is more important. So what you can do is you can finish this matrix, making this matrix. So what highly efficient people, in corporates, I have had this talk with many corporate professionals who are entrepreneurs, managers, and CEOs who use this technique. So what they do in their company is, whenever things come up, they assign things to people based on the quadrant. What are the things that come under Q2? What are the things that come under Q3, Q4, Q1, etc.? So in our personal life, what I have started doing is, at least once in a week, I make this quadrant. Ideally, I am sure many of us have started noting down things in our phones or in papers, scheduling things, but we don't schedule it according to priority. And then very often we become very ineffective. So even when you schedule things, I use a notepad on my phone. So Google Calendar. So in that, what I do is, what are my P2 activities? Quadrant 2 activities, Q2 activities that I give most importance. And then Q3, Q1, etc. falls in place automatically. Give utmost important to Q2, and Q1 anyway we will do it. Important urgent things, we are not going to skip it. Beyond a point we cannot. But the more attention you give to quadrant 2, Q1 becomes more easier, life becomes less stressful. And where do you find time to fit everything in? Eliminate Q4. Quadrant 4 को almost completely eliminate करना होगा. And we are all human beings. We all need some kind of a break. We need some, relaxation, etc. But it does not have to come from quadrant 4. It can easily come from quadrant 2. That is the whole point. I am not saying you should avoid all these things and become a very dull, boring person. Find your relaxation in Q2 itself. Find your entertainment in Q2. There are ways to find it out. So I think it will need a little more working, and from your perspective, I know it is very different for all of you. So you can just watch a little more or read a little more about the matrix, and today itself sit down and complete this matrix. And I think it will make much more sense. At least the realization itself is the first step. Oh, I have so many things in my quadrant 4. And I have such a small Q2. If the Q2 is less, I am doing so many things in quadrant 2, means you have to make a change. Are you living in quadrant 1? Then life will be very stressful. You're always in like, ye karna hai, wo karna hai, ye karna, wo karna hai. You don't have time for the skill, upgrading the skill. You don't have time to pursue your hobby. You don't have time to keep in touch with your family members. These are the things that will get hurt because of it. So that's it. It's difficult to avoid Q4. I know. But I know ultimately we are forced to do it finally when, you get fired by your, bosses, or you have problems at work. Then out of frustration, we'll have to avoid it. But better thing is to be aware and do it right away. All right. So that's it. Let's quickly do a few minutes of meditation and then we'll wind up. Hope the session was a little informative to all of you, and be with this matrix and see how things work. So let's do the breathing technique that we learned last time. It will be a recap also. How to shift from 4 to 1 is the $1 million question. 4 to 2. Okay, Sarita, I hope you understood correctly. 4 to 1, not 4 to 2. 2 is the golden quadrant. How to eliminate 4 and then start doing things in 2. So a little bit of all this meditation, breathing techniques, etc. will help a lot. When the mind becomes calmer, it becomes easier to tame it. Or sleeping problem once a week in night, can you suggest me a solution? Yeah, so we have a program for specifically for people who have sleep disorders and anxiety issues. So you can get in touch with me on WhatsApp, Vipul ji. Just send me a message and I'll connect you to this. This has become a problem for many people. So I don't want to take it lightly. Sleep disorders can be a big issue if you don't, and anxiety also. Many people have ended up taking medication also. So yeah, so we have a very specific, we take you through the medical aspects of sleep, etc. And then we teach you some techniques. So please, you can message me and I'll guide you to it. Okay. All right. So do you remember the pranayam we did? Bhastrika, loose fists on either side of the shoulders. Those who have not attended last time, I'll do a quick recap. गीली मुट्ठी कंधों के दोनों तरफ, बंद गीली मुट्ठी, and the fists are facing forward like this. Keep the shoulders relaxed and keep the spine erect. Yeah, Lakshmi ji, keep the fist facing forward. Nails are facing forward. Not like this, like this, like this. Very good. And keep the shoulders relaxed. Forward, Lakshmi ji, forward. Yeah. And you have to throw your hands up like this. Throw it up, open the fist. When it goes up, it opens. And when it falls down, you have to close it. Throw up, open. Fall down, close. And when you throw the hands up, you have to take a deep inhalation. And when it falls down, you have to breathe out forcefully. Normal deep inhalation, upper, and forceful exhalation when it comes down. And breathing is only through the nostrils. Keep the mouth closed. So I'll show you once and then we can do it together. I'm taking a normal breath in and breathing out. Now I'm going to start the Bhastrika with my hands. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And relax. Keep the palms on your lap, open to the sky. Okay. Now we will do it together. Let's take position for Bhastrika. Band गीली मुट्ठी कंधों के दोनों तरफ. Keep the spine erect. Those who have attended last time, you can keep your eyes closed. If you are learning it today, you can just keep it open to watch me. First, take a normal breath in, breathe out. Now, using your hands with lots of enthusiasm, breathe in, out, 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 in, out. Keep the eyes closed, आंखें बंद ही रखें, and keep your palms on your lap open to the sky. हथेलियों को गोद पे रख लें आसमां की तरफ, and observe the gentle flow of energy through the body. Whatever happens, keep the eyes closed. And now, keeping the eyes closed, let's take position for second round of Bhastrika. Make sure you keep your eyes closed from this round. बंद गीली मुट्ठी कंधों के दोनों तरफ. Take position. First, take a normal breath in and breathe out completely. Now, using your hands with lots of enthusiasm, breathe in, out, 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 in, out. Keep your eyes closed and relax your hands and keep it on your lap, open to the sky. And be aware of what is happening in the body and mind. Even if there is the temptation to open the eyes, keep it closed. And keeping the eyes closed, let's take position for one final round of Bhastrika. Loose fists on either side of the shoulders. एक साधारण सांस अंदर और बाहर. गहरी लंबी सांस अंदर और पूरी तरह बाहर छोड़े. And now, with lots of enthusiasm, breathe in, out, 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 in, out. Keep your eyes closed and relax. For the next few minutes, let's keep our eyes completely closed. आंखें बंद ही रखें for the next few minutes. No need to take any effort. Simply listen to the instructions. Keep your body relaxed. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Become aware of all the sounds and noises in the environment. Sound inside the headphones, sound of the fan, sound of people talking, sound coming from nature. Whatever sounds and noises you are hearing, welcome all of them. Let them be there. जो भी आवाज सुनाई दे रहा है, उन सबको स्वीकार करें. Breathe in And breathe out. Become aware of your own body. Become aware of your right leg, left leg, abdomen, genitals, stomach, chest, shoulders, right arm, left arm, neck, face. Become aware of your entire body. पूरे शरीर पर ध्यान दीजिए. This body is a precious gift given to you by God or nature. Let us honor and respect our own body. Breathe in and breathe out. Become aware of all the thoughts in your mind. Good thoughts or bad thoughts. Whatever thoughts are coming, let them come. Welcome all the thoughts. You are in harmony with your thoughts right now. Become aware of your feelings and emotions, happy feelings, unhappy feelings, neutral feelings. Whatever feelings and emotions are there, just become aware of them. You are peace, you are joy. आप शांति हो, आप आनंद हो. Take a breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your feelings and emotions once again. Become aware of the thoughts in your mind. Become aware of your own body. And become aware of your environment. And slowly and gradually, taking your own time, Take a deep breath in and breathe out. With a smile on your face, take another deep breath in. मुस्कुराते मुस्कुराते सांस अंदर and breathe out with a smile. और बाहर छोड़े. And slowly, very gradually, taking your own time, you may open your eyes. धीरे धीरे से आंखें खोल सकते हैं. Yes. How do you feel? Yeah. You can share in the chat box your experience. Or you can unmute and say also. Lighter and positive, fresh, great, amazing. Okay. Feeling relaxed. So, I have a 10-hour program. It's called the Online Meditation and Breath Workshop. 4 days, 2.5 hours each. It'll be nice if you can all attend it. Maybe I'll share it with Ramarao-ji. If there is a WhatsApp group, I can share the details. So you'll get a technique, some take-home techniques that are at least 20 times more effective than this. This is just a trailer. If you give me a little more time, then you can learn some much more efficient, which has a lot of impact on our sleep, on our cholesterol levels, on our health, concentration, energy passing from the tips of fingers to upward direction. Yeah. So I'll share it. Do you have a WhatsApp group, Ramarao-ji? All of them? Is there a WhatsApp group or something?
No, I have not formed.
So I'll share it with you. You can somehow, maybe by mail, you can send it. It's a very, very nice program. Yeah, so routinely practice meditation. I can send you some links to guided meditations. I learned it from Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar ji. So there is a list of free meditations: meditation for headache, meditation for anxiety, meditation for sleep. So there are different. I can send you a link. They are available on YouTube. This one that you did is called the Pancha Kosha meditation. If you want to continue doing it, you can Google it. Let me see. I'll find this out. I can share it right away. Panchakosha, yes. Yeah. So this is the Panchakosha. You can do this. Subtle muscle group starts to pulsate. Yeah, that is happening because of the energy. We are creating energy. Meditation, the subtle energy. Usually we identify only with the energy of the physical body, carbohydrates, amino acids, kind of, physical energy. But so much, our mind, has so much more energy than the body. The prana is much more higher. That is why we get these vibrations. And when you do advanced programs, you will see what kind of energy is lying inside. So that's it. Any other questions, or we'll wind up here? क्या कहना है, क्या सुनना है, मुझको पता है, तुमको पता है, समय का ये पल थम सा गया है, और इस पल में कोई नहीं है, बस एक मैं हूँ, बस एक तुम हो, कुछ ना कहो, कुछ भी ना कहो. Yes, 1942, a love story. So that's it. It was great connecting with all of you. I am sharing my website link also. I would love to hear from all of you. It'll help my website also. If you have Facebook, please share your feedback on my website. That's it. And questions also, you can send it to me. I think I have shared my phone number already. If you are you all happy? Not just now, in general? Yeah. If you are feeling any, like, somebody was sharing about sleep problems, etc., you can always message me. And there are so many ways we can tackle things. I can share it with you. Great. That's it. Problems keep coming and going. There is no end to problems, but it is up to us. You decide to be happy, and that's it. Be happy and then face the problems, and you will see. And if this wisdom is not helping you, then get some techniques. Seek the help of some techniques, some meditation, pranayam, and then it will automatically happen. Problems will be around you, but you will be able to stay strong and overcome it. And if you have noticed, the problems in life gives us some depth to our character. Yes or no? Whenever you have gone through a very difficult phase in life and you come out of it, there is that depth which comes inside. And you might have seen some people who have had no such experiences. They'll be very shallow. You don't even speaking with them properly. But there are some people with whom you would like to confide, spend time with, and speak, because you find there is a lot of depth in their personality. So it is the difficult situations that gives that depth to the character, and the happy situations gives an expansion, a breadth. So both are required in life. That's it. So bye. See you. Thank you, Dr. Ramarao sir, for giving me this opportunity again to connect with so many people.
Many thanks, Anand Naranji. Is really, I was concerned that I have been really so much hard on our participants, putting a lot of technical stuff and pushing this, that. I thought that I'm really making them miserable. So at least I am peaceful that, I try to detoxicate whatever I have done the last almost 4.5 days. Thank you that you really made our participant a bit of soothing. So I now feel that whatever the sin that I committed in whatever form, in the form of pressure, you erased a bit in the other way. Thank you to make it a little lighter. And I hope that participants also, be a little more comfortable now. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we look forward to you have multiple sessions in our future activity as well. Thank
Sure.
you very much. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
So, dear participants,